Hello everyone and welcome to this month's Xero tip. So a lot of you will probably have had the experience of having to chase customers that haven't paid your bills on time, and it can waste a lot of your time, particularly as a small business owner. So today's tip is going to be focused on how you can use the invoice reminder system within Xero to do the chasing for you. So first, let's go and set up invoice reminders in the demo company. Now, like with a lot of things in Xero, there's a couple of ways you can access this area. I'm going to show you the way that I find is the most logical and probably the easiest to locate. So I'm just going to go straight to my invoice area and click on awaiting payment. And you can see here that there's a button up the top that talks about the invoice reminders. So in my demo file, currently this is turned off. So now I'm going to show you how you can set these up. So let's click on this here. There are some tips that you can go to, so you can click on learn more and it will take you to the Xero Central page where you can go and you can see different ideas or different ways that you can set this up. First step, let's tick this on. Now, by default, you will get these three timeline options. You can leave those three timeline options as they are if you wish to use them. You can also add an extra step. So I'm going to add one for 28 days. And then I'm going to add another one for 35 days. So you can add up to 5 steps. You can take away some of these steps. You can change the number of days. You can make any sort of alteration to these. So you choose whatever one works for you. I find most people find that the 7, 14, and 21 days is plenty. And most people find that after the 7-day one is sent, most customers will pay their invoices. To edit each of these, if you click on the edit option, you'll see that a lot of the areas in here have this, what we call placeholders. So there's text that's sitting in these brackets. If you want to see what placeholders you can add in, if you click on insert placeholder, you can go through here and you can see all the details that you can add in. And to add one of those in, just click in the area where you want it to be and then choose the placeholder and it will stick that wherever the text is. Now, like with all the days, you can also just leave the text as it currently is. If you want to, you can dial up the pressure as the days go longer. So if you wanted to have 7 days as just a gentle reminder, you might have missed this, please make sure you pay it. 14 days might be going, this is now overdue, please hurry up and pay. 21 days could be, please pay or we will discontinue our service for you, or something along those lines. Or you can leave it as the same message every time. Entirely up to you. Options down here, so you can choose to include a quick link to the online invoice. So if you want them to view the invoice online, remembering that if you do include that and they do view the invoice online, the invoice status will change from sent to viewed, and you'll get a date and timestamp telling you that your customer viewed the invoice at that time. You can include a link to the PDF. If you want to force them to the online one though, then I'd suggest unticking that. Another option here is you can set a minimum level for reminders. So we all have instances where people will pay an amount and they may get numbers run the wrong way. And so it may mean there's a small balance left. So you can choose to have a minimum level here to say that if the balance is below a certain level, don't send out a reminder. Okay, and if you have set up multiple email addresses for invoicing or for replies from Xero, you would be able to choose which reply or which email address would be used for replies to these overdue notices. Otherwise, it will just come to whoever it was that set up the settings. So now I'm going to click Save, and now those invoice reminders are turned on. Now, once these are run, there is one very key thing that you must remember when you're running this. You need to keep on top of your reconciling, because a reminder will go out to a customer even if they have paid. If you haven't matched the payment to the invoice, that reminder will still go out. So if that amount that they've paid is sitting in your reconcile list, you've not matched it to the invoice, they will keep getting reminders until you've done your reconciling. So if you want to use this, that's great, but please make sure you keep on top of the reconciling and you've at least gotten rid of all of your items that are in this received list. Because if you don't and your customer gets a reminder and they've already paid you, nothing annoys a customer more than telling them they've not paid a bill you've sent them. So please, please, please remember that before you turn this feature on. Now, you may have some customers where you have an arrangement with them and that they will always pay late. So you don't want to send reminders to those people. So to disable reminders for some customers, go to contacts and either go to all contacts or customers, or you can search for the specific customer using the quick search option up here. Choose the customer. And then once you open up that customer's record, and on the right-hand side, there is an options button. If you click on the options, you can go turn off invoice reminders. Now you can also do this for specific invoices. So once again, if you have an arrangement with that customer that relates to that one specific invoice and you don't want them to get reminders, open up the invoice, click on the options and click on turn invoice reminders off. Now, in your invoice list, if there are any invoices that you select to say to turn reminders off, it will have a note down on this side here, and it will say that invoice reminders have been turned off for that specific invoice, just so that you know that a reminder is not going to go out to that customer. So just as a quick recap, to set up invoice reminders, just go to your invoice list here and click on the invoice reminder button. You can choose to use the default settings, or you can make alterations to how many reminders go out and the wording that you want that to go out with. Once you hit save, please make sure that you keep on top of your reconciling of all of your sales, because nothing's going to annoy a customer more than getting a reminder when they've already paid. And remember that you can go into a customer record or an invoice record and you can turn off reminders for specific invoices or customers. Hope that all makes sense. If you have anything else that you'd like me to run through, please let me know on my email address of josh@sidekickcloud.co.nz. And I'd love to hear suggestions of processes you'd like me to run through just to help make using Xero easier. Thank you very much.